So, hi there. This is a picture of someone with beautiful long legs, not like mine. Teal's one. I googled this and I have her there because she talked about in some video about, I love her videos and her information and her synchronicity workshops, and I don't share every perspective she have or agree on that, but yeah, she's marvelous. I really love it and love her. Anyway, so she talked about her videos and so on in some video, and wait a sec, just have to pause for a sec. So I may have to make small breaks because I have a cold and so. Anyways, yeah, and she talked about how she never read the comments. I really don't have anyone. She have someone who reads them for her, just the positive ones. But then again, I don't know if I even could do that, because things can be portrayed as something when it actually means something else, you know. And I probably would pick that up, maybe. So it's better that I don't read them at all. So you know that it's okay if you want to, though, but I want to do these videos, and so I will just do them and don't bother about your comments. You can comment whatever you want. So to each their own. Well, and why? Because first of all, no, there are so many reasons. I don't really need to explain those reasons, but I mostly it's actually because I enjoy it. I enjoy to do this now and then, so that's why. And there are several, but I won't go into all the reasons. But one is also that I have, when I cleanse around here, or go through stuff that I throw away or so on, I find a lot of things that I have in mind, that I have written down or so on, or kept, that I thought that maybe someday in the future I might do a video on this or so on. And I don't like to throw it before I've done the video. So, and also I don't like people to push me to like, I don't like that it's others' decisions whether or not I do what I do. Not that it is ever. I mean, it's because of what I feel I'm comfortable with, but still. So yeah, here I am. I probably will check the likes or dislikes or both, but that's it. So, and yeah, usually I don't get a lot of comments, so that's not a thing though. But I'm quite tired of those that I got, and not each and every once, and I'm glad for those who had genuine. I mean, it would be fun if it would be possible, but not in this space where people anonymously can just be threatening, or yeah. So, or try to mess you up, sort of. So I don't care for that. Anyways, so to each of you, just fuck off. Yeah. I got my long fingers. No, I don't care. Yeah. Never mind. Why would you even have to listen if you dislike me that much? Leave me alone. Yeah. Okay. So, back to the topic. I mean, I have actually a topic, believe me or not. Do I have any water then? That would be awesome. No, I don't. Okay. Have some water, not very close though. I will try to catch it. I think I have some here. I have to pull it with the foot. I need some, I think. Since I have a little bit of a cold and also not used to doing videos at all. Well, I do some on Facebook and there I can block anyone who behaves strangely. I could here too, but I haven't bothered often to do that though. And I won't, especially now, since I won't read it. So, yeah, anyways, I try to keep that space where I can communicate with people, and if I sense any weirdness in behaviors that are less than respectful, then I just don't need them there on my page, so then I block them. So that feels that's where I used to do my I can keep this open actually. Where I do my card readings and so on. But I kind of miss this. I don't ramble there. Well, tiny. I have a hard time not doing that, but I don't ramble a lot. But I don't think I have a lot of need for that now. Everything that could be said is like already said. Maybe more than actually. And then I really don't have a very strong need to do that anymore, I think. To share myself, or especially in particular the past, or even things in the now. I don't think that's not what I feel like I need to or want to share much. I want to share some of the good stuff, the information that I have learned. And one thing that I've wanted for many years now, because it bugs me a little bit that, I mean, I'm divided here, because when it comes to certain teachings, there is a lot of basics, or even very, very superficial in a sense, or on the surface anyways. And you need that. That's like the first step. Sometimes it's very watered out and almost not even very useful. I don't think, at least not for me, but at the same time, it depends on how open you are to receive and use things anyway. So, but there are then layers, and I would love to go deeper and to to go deeper into stuff in my ways. I mean, I'm so rambly, I know, and now I've not even gotten to the whole whatever it is I'm going to talk about. So I'm quite the opposite of, for example, Teal, that keeps the focus, and that stresses me out sometimes. It's so much information in a few sentences. I love to relax into things, you know, so it gets so very, not mental in a negative way, but like and almost like strained. but it isn't. But still, especially those workshops, they are more relaxed because others in there need to process things, and then anyways, looking at my little in the window, I have this little hummingbird, and when I have other lights there now around Christmas, other times I don't see all the colors shining so brightly on it, but now I only see it as a blue one then other times of the year. But now it have all the beautiful shimmering bright colors. It's so beautiful. And in Munaki, that represents the soul. I want to talk about all these things that are treasures to me. So you don't need to be upset, but you can. Anyone have the right to be upset if they want to, for whatever reason they want to. I do too, but I don't like to. I prefer to be in peace and be happy. So that's where I'm going to try to focus now then. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, I have to thank a lot of people for making me work harder on that one. Yeah. Well, I will keep the focus away from there. It's just that, yeah, that's what I want to do. So, yeah. And I'm not going to talk about so much personal stuff, but every time I see that one, it reminds me of someone that I met this summer. That I just have this goodness. I just saw the goodness of the soul. Yeah. Those are happy moments. Well, one of the things that I wanted to talk about was the chakras and the aura, maybe mainly the aura, because the chakras is not very complicated, but it's kind of a different thing. It's very awesome to be in contact and communicate with you here and read your comments, because then I would see if you have any questions and stuff. But now I have to just be super, super egotistical in a way, and just, or maybe not, because I can tune in probably to what you need or so on anyway. Or if you believe in this law of attraction, anyone who's here is a match, as it said. It's connected to it in one way or another, either because you like opposites attracting, you dislike it so heavily, so you're drawn to it, or me, or it's synchronized anyways in a way. Yeah, so I love to be personal. I think I love it because I love to connect. And to be like just teacher stuff is difficult for me. I mean, I'm bored by that easily. That's what I mean. Okay, what shall we go to? I will check a few of the things that I've written down anyways, because then at least I can, throw these away. Okay. And by the way, okay, I always drift, so we never know where this is going, and I never have the patience to listen through them. I try sometimes, but they are too long, and so forgive me if I say something here, I may not mean it a week from now. Who knows? I try to stay open to new thoughts and stuff. Anyways, I have been in contact with viewpoints that are very rare. Let's say, I mean, they may not be rare, but to me they are. And also opened me up to different viewpoints that actually seem very valid, but they aren't all that. It's not like the most common way, because many are very blinded in many ways, that is. But I don't know. There is so much going on. I won't go into politics. I don't know enough about these things to even go there. But it seemed to be connected to, whomever is behind the curtains, pulling the threads, kind of thing. And I thought about this. It seemed to, among a few at least, it seemed to be pretty much connected to even use. I don't mean use as you drink. I mean Jewish people, whatever people mean with that then. But, and I'm not saying it is like this, absolutely not. I don't know. I haven't even checked into it that much. I've just heard brief thoughts around certain things, and certain things I've been able to check up, and they seem to be actually true, and so on. So, but I have no idea about these things. But the thing that I wonder, really, or actually there are certain things that I would want to go into here, but when I plan, I can change, so I shouldn't even mention what I plan. But but in tarot, as I have done a lot here on the channel, and as I do on my Facebook page, and sometimes even now, it seems like around Christmas now, and even this whole week, I mean, I've always done this for those around me that I know as well, not only customers as such. And with that, it's mainly mediumship or psychic readings, and not with cards. But anyways, I had this little game going on Christmas where I had bought a few not expensive gifts to those. We were quite some at Christmas, and so I thought I could do a little thing, just bought these small, with some symbolic thing that would represent the coming year for them, and that they then could close their eyes and feel with their hands which one was for them. And it seems like everyone was pretty okay. I mean, it wasn't, they were different, and it wasn't, none were negative, obviously. And I don't know, people seem to have enjoyed it in some way or another anyways, and that it fitted several, I heard, very well. But then I also said that if anyone wants me to interpret more, I said you can interpret that symbol for yourself, whatever it was they got. So there were a few, and also I connected with ancestors that had passed over, and several connected with that, so it was really fun. And also after that, people that usually haven't asked for that wanted me to do layouts for them, and so which is very fun for me and interesting. It's like someone invite you to, I mean, they always have the keys to the cards, but still they invite me to see into them, as they say about intimacy. And also I really don't like when I can do that for a short while, but I don't like to sit and try to be, I mean, if I really enjoy the presence of some people, then I can enjoy also the like social gatherings where you just hang out. But just to sit and talk nonsense, let's say, or not important things, just to be what is the word even, to be polite and just sit there. I just get very, very bored easily. I don't like that. If I can avoid it, I do. So where am I going with this then? Yeah, so it's really relaxing to me to then go into some other room and dive deep into interpreting these things for people instead. And apparently it was appreciated by those I did it for also. So it was really fun. But what I thought about related to these other things is that I learned long ago about the Tarot, Torah, Rota, Atur, or what it is. It's like magical. It's on this second card, the High Priestess card. It's like she holds in this traditional, most traditional Rider-Waite, I think. She holds this those rolls like Torah, or it's somewhere around there, anyways, in the card. And also some have seen the connection to Kabbalah. And Sohar, I just heard about that today. It's because I got really curious on these things now. About the mysticism. I mean, Kabbalah is the mysticism within Judaism. And there is a lot of, I mean, for Muslims, it's the Sufi, that is the mystics and so on. There is always a mystic path in each of the religions where the mystics find their truth, and they usually relate very easily to each other without those borders of the dogmatic faith, let's say. Anyway, so there are so many things around this that I didn't know, and so much symbolism that I had no clue about before, that also have come to me now in dreams. I realize certain things that I see more clearly. But anyways, I also think about the pillars, how they also used to keep those like as rolls, when they read from those texts, if you have seen. I suppose that is also a symbolic thing, that it represents these pillars or in the Kabbalah. The pillar of mercy and the pillar of severity. I'm not sure though, but it seems like it just visually when you look at it. Yeah. But I'm curious. I'm really curious about many things, and also very many things have been thrown upside down. I mean, certain things that I thought could not be in any way connected. I mean, like so far apart, seem to be quite connected. Now I'm talking like in worldly scene of things. That's interesting, but it still is very, I know too little, it's very vague to me, and I don't think there is where I should be, so to speak. But also, in Kabbalah, many connect that also to the chakra system and everything. All these systems may not go exactly. They are descriptions and so on. And also in Munaki, we used the system of the chakras and those energy centers of the body in a little bit of a different way than the usual yogic chakra system. So, but it's still, it is symbolic representations or descriptions of something that is real and can be experienced by many, just described in various ways, with slight variations, differences of perceiving it. So in Munaki it's described as eyes. I love that. I think I connect mostly to the Munaki description of the nadis, they are called then. The chakras, no, not the nadis. What am I saying? That's like the nadis is the meridian system, the meridians in the body. In what are they called then? What are they called? No, not nadis. Oh, just now I forgot it. Something navis, I think, actually. Something very close to in words, yeah. And that you can see through them, and that's how I connect to others energetically when I read someone, when I connect to read or pick up information to someone in my mediumship or psychic readings. The first thing I do, unless I have a thing to hold on to, like something that have belonged to them, or a picture of them or something. Usually I don't do that anymore. I just look at a picture on the net, but it still is just much stronger channel to hold on to something. Or at least then I visualize connecting to their energy centers, so or look through my navis, so to speak, into them. Okay, so, but I don't know. It's I understand how people can fall asleep. To me, it's so boring. Okay. So anyways, I'm very, very curious on many things. And it's one thing that I absolutely love and loved when I was taught in witchcraft or magic like such, was about the myths and so on, about how they revealed themselves. It was not like you were taught, here is the explanation of this and that. It was like an exploration and experience. It's like when you unlock something, suddenly it just, the truths were like coming flooding, and you saw, oh, this is what it's saying, and you didn't see that before. And it's like the same with certain symbols now that I've seen for a long time, but suddenly I see how magical they are. And apparently to Zohar, this ancient text, I don't know where it came from, everything in that part of the Bible, that is Testament probably, but everything there is like magical. Maybe they shouldn't call them. Maybe don't call them spells, but almost like, I guess. Yeah, I'm really curious at this now. Yeah, I like to see how others see things. And I had never, briefly about the Kabbalah, because you can do these layouts with that, but still really on the surface level, haven't been diving deep into that. And but there are deep wisdom everywhere, I guess, if you just look for it. And also, obviously, a lot of manipulation and sidetracking and stuff as well. So it could be easy to be fooled. You need to be aware and awake and discerning, not too easy. We all do that. We buy into all the things around us, don't we? And when many people agree on a certain way of viewing things, it's very easy to think that it's as it is, Yeah. Well, okay, the chakra now. I don't know even if I should say anything about the chakras. I will just have to check this for a while. Yeah. Basically, it's energy centers. I will come back to this, but what I wanted to say is that there are certain things I would want to go deeper into all the connections to tarot, because that is a tool that I have been using for a very long time, and how that all the connections that may not be there may be like just added and not, they weren't there from the beginning. Someone saw connections, and then since then people have been seeing it that way, but it doesn't have to be seen that way. But still, I would like to go deeper into tarot, because it's these teachings of tarot, even reading around, I never read the books when I buy new decks or have a bunch of decks, even when it comes to oracles, but tarot as well. I never read it. I just open and use the cards. And I would love to read it, because there is a lot of things that I could learn from doing that could deepen my connection to certain decks and to tarot overall. And also then I've been teaching tarot now for, let's say, for how long? More than 6 months. I was going to have it like 10 times actually. And there are several people that haven't been doing it at the same exactly time. So I met up with people, different times and so on sometimes. Anyways, I kind of like that, but it's, first of all, it was too much to do that for 10 times, although people learn very quickly. This is very natural to all of us if we just do it. Still, it is to push things, really, to try to learn that from scratch in 10 times. But it's something very magical in it. You can use it in so many ways, as affirmations, as magical practices, and of course as divinations or even inspirations. And since I've done this so often, and I see how accurate it is, I cannot I just can't deny that. Although I think I am more accurate when I don't use the cards, because then the vastness of possibilities or opportunities are greater than fixed into a certain card or interpretation of a certain card. The things that can flow through my mind freely is more. It's more to choose from it, let's say. But anyways, exact enough with the cards. So yeah. But that's one thing that I would want to dive deeper into, because there are so many depths or levels in everything that I do. Also all the other things, but I don't think that's where I should go right now. But everything is so much connected, but also with the Ayurveda and everything like that. But the tarot, since there are many here who liked when I've been, and I also want to lay some cards here as well. I have to do like piles or so on where you can check, you can choose from or so, since I won't read comments and such. And then, as I said, I will want to go deeper. And where do I want to go then? We will see, but I want to go to magic. I want to talk about magic, because that's not, none of these abilities that I have and many have, they aren't, they are extrasensory, you can say. You are extrasensory, but they are natural. It's not like beyond the natural order of things. And magic also is natural. It's just that most of us have not been tapping into that potential in ourselves and don't know about our strength. And also, of course, there have been purposes and still is. That's why I've been hesitating a lot to share too much of it. Certain things I've discovered by myself, certain things I've learned, and so on, but they are powerful. And we humans aren't always the best to handle power. We don't use it well always. So I've hesitated to share certain things. You don't want to put like lethal weapons in the hands of like anyone, but they will get those weapons if they want. But not in like the mindset. You need to you yourself as a tool is stronger than anything else. So it, yeah, that's why I also like it in a frame, like it was in Weekend Zone, because there comes with some sort of ethics and some sort of gradual process of time where you can actually see if someone seemed to not dealing with it well, let's say, then maybe you wouldn't then continue teaching. So although I want to share everything, and I wish it was out there for everyone in a way, I still think it's not very smart or good. So we will see where I go. But I still want to talk about magic, because even the basics of magic is so powerful. And the connections there. And all of these things does not come from faith or like believe that it is so. It's like very clear and strong experiences for long time that are that are clear. And as I've said before, I've used a healing technique sometimes, and I've been using various methods for doing things. And magic is one of the most powerful. When it's like critical, then I go. I don't use that ordinary in my days. I mean, in minor natural ways that I don't really think about. I kind of use it all the time. But when it comes to very strong magic, like really focusing on something, then I just do that when it's something really, really extra needed. And also that there is a step further, to, as I see it anyways, because that's really strong, and I never usually go to that extent that I pick up, how can you say, where I like, let's say, summon other energies as well to direct. And the next step, if I do that, would be to work as a shaman. That's the most powerful thing that I know. And then I go in with my whole soul. And that's a risky practice. Because then I just don't send energy, I send my whole self into whatever the situation is to resolve it. I can then work in other realms in different ways, but it's still risky to some degree. Is my experience of it anyways. But that's like the most strong and efficient way I know. And that is something I almost never do in that kind of way. You can work as a shaman in other ways without journeying like that, or however I should describe it. You can just you can work with energy in more brief ways than that, but yeah, that is also shamanic work, and that's strong and powerful as well. It's just not as great of a risk in it as if you go all in, let's say. So anyways, that's like the second thing that I would want to go into. And then I would also love to go into alchemy. That's probably the last thing. Not the last thing, but I mean the of these three kind of things that I have in my mind that I want to talk about. But in between there will be a lot of other stuff. In magic there is super much to talk about, so it will take years. So I will never get out of topic here. And I know it bugs some people, so therefore I would love to... I mean, there is a lot of things with me. There was someone who asked actually questions, because I said I would... okay, I will have to answer these questions someday, because not anyone else have asked any questions, because I promised to do that. So I will have to go back and read those comments actually. And answer... because I said something about when I get like hundreds of questions. It was just like an invitation, because I know there are people that are like not looking at me with most loving, kind eyes, and for whatever reasons. And I guess they have some questions, and they never ask me any questions, so I have no way to respond. I get accused maybe, or like not maybe accused, but what is the word for that when you are like I can't figure the word, but like not straightforward, but almost like... yeah, never mind the words. Yeah, so I thought that there must be some questions here that aren't clear. But then again, yeah, so I thought that I will open up and give the space for like, if there are like hundreds of questions. But now, since I shouldn't read the comments, suddenly I've decided then I can't do that. But I will get back to the questions. Maybe even tonight. Maybe I should go and check them. I could pause and check them and get to the questions instead. Yeah, but anyways, alchemy also I'm not an expert at, but there are many things there that also pops up to me very much. So, and I know some of these things, and I may have misinterpreted certain things, and I know that in some people's eyes this is very disturbing to them, certain things that my perspective is. And I wish that I could that it was possible to communicate, but I don't know. I don't see that as a possibility here much. So yeah, I will just let people have their perspectives and respect that and do my thing. And yeah, that's it. And I in no way say that I have the truth, or that I'm just sharing my experiences and the things that have been giving me so much, and the things that I'm very happy for, and therefore I want to share them. So yeah, anyways, I will see if I could get into something on the chakras first, at least, since this was my aim for today. I haven't gotten there. I don't know even for how long I've been talking. Oh yeah, anyway. Yeah. I don't know. I haven't checked these for like ever since I think I will go to the aura later. This is like the chakras. Maybe I should say something about this, right? And I'm sorry, I take back those long fingers. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. You are so some are really easily defended. I say offended. It takes nothing really. A smile and that's it, or something. I don't know. Yeah. Never mind. Okay. Well, I don't know. You know everything about chakras, don't you? There is so much. I wonder if there is something new to even say. As I talked about the nadis or meridians, there's like these are the they are like there are like, aside from these 7 chakras, there's like hundreds of more of smaller chakras around in the body as well. Various sizes and intensity of those. And you can also develop those if you focus in on them. Yeah, that is also in the aura, so that have to do with the aura as well. And also below and above the body as well. And in the energy field then. And it's also described as the lungs of the aura. That's kind of beautiful in a way. But they receive this cosmic energy and then transform it, you can say, to a frequency that the body can receive and absorb and have use of. So yeah. And it's where these nadis, those meridians, is where they cross each other, is where those chakras are. And the nadis are like, you know what the meridians are, ASMR, the autosensory meridian. Those lines of where energy travels, you could say, in the body. Yeah. Yeah. And they are also connected to the colors of the rainbow, those larger chakras, those 7, and also tones, like all the frequencies of sounds as well, and so on. They corresponds. Yeah. And each chakra receives its color from this cosmic white light. So the lowest, the base chakra or root chakra, have this red color that is the lowest vibration. Yeah. So, and no frequency or vibration is better than someone else. When you call it higher, it's just that it's a quicker speed. It's a higher tone. It doesn't mean that it's a better one. You know, it's not. Yeah, it's nothing less good with the lower ones, but sometimes it's talked about in that way. Everything is needed for the balance of the whole, so it's all equally important. And everything has its assigned mission, and the connection in between them are very important. So, and you can then, if you tune into others, you can then feel if something is closed or open and so on. And when there is a living being, a chakra cannot be fully closed, because then that person wouldn't be alive. But it's something maybe disturbing the flow of energy. So it could be like toxins, or something, dust, or something that needs to be cleared, or an imbalance of sorts. And crystal healing can be used. I mean, you can use singing bowls, you can use sound, or crystals have these strong frequencies that are not easily influenced. They don't change easily. That's why they can influence other things much, because they have this steady vibe that they keep. And then you can use those to influence the energy field and get it into harmony. And they can also cleanse. But then again, I have a little bit of a... when it comes to crystals, I'm also have been for a long time. I have some, and I love to work with them. But I also don't really like the fact how they sometimes are is using strong, not good things for the earth when they are retrieved from her, and also the way they're cleansed, and also there are children labor sometimes in those mines and stuff. At least have been. I'm not clear about how it is so much now, but but the crystals themselves have the ability to balance and vitalize the aura. It brings light with different frequencies to your luminous being, light system, let's say, your soul. And light is also information. And we can also balance our chakras through meditation, by visualizing certain colors, especially clear ones. I mean that the color isn't like muddy or dark or so, but bright. It cleanses that part of the chakras. So I wonder if I should go through each of the chakras just basically. But I think I should first answer the question, whatever it was. Questions. I think so. And then maybe go to the aura. But I've talked for so long now, so I probably should stop. But I pause for a moment and go and see if I find the questions here, wherever they can be. Okay? Bye for a moment. So, hi, they have changed these things, so I couldn't first find those questions. It was like just comments that I hadn't responded to. So there were comments 4 years back. There was for a while I couldn't respond to some comments. Anyway, so I have some questions here then. Your questions. It was one who asked some questions. I will take them now before I stop reading comments. So okay. Why did you start doing ASMR? It was actually the fault of Akashic inspiration. Marianne, she did a card reading for me, I think. She have done that now and then. And she said that I should do that. Actually, also the fact was that people fell asleep anyways when they listened to my videos, they said. So, I don't know. And also, not only that, I had found ASMRers and listening to them and just the pleasure. Now I don't focus on the ASMR part of it. And also sometimes when I listen to those who do intentional intentional ASMR. I don't get as much ASMR. It's too it's too intentional, kind of. I like when it has some, when it's there but it's not so focused on it, then it takes away the pleasure of it for me. So sometimes I get it from like documentaries, interviews and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm sorry, my cold. I should pause when I do that. I will lean back. Sorry. Yeah. So why she encouraged me? What do you say? What do you say? Yeah. So that's why I started calling it that. I guess. Yeah. But also because I think, especially when it comes to these kind of topics that I talk to, at least myself, I can only actually speak from my own experience, but I absorb it much better when it comes in a very calm manner. It's like hypnotic, almost like, and it sinks deeper in. Even if I'm relaxed and lose focus, it still goes into my subconscious now. So there are various reasons. And yeah, I just love the sounds of ASMR. Especially voices speaking and giving ASMR. Yeah. So, but not from the beginning. I didn't know about that. I stumbled across it and was absolutely intrigued. Now, at the time, it was called whisper videos and not ASMR so much. And it was not so much sound. It was people speaking, whispering, and speaking softly as well, but mostly, I guess, whispering. And it was just a totally different world, and my addicted brain just loved it. It was like really like an addiction. Some voices, but a good one. So, yeah. It just gave me something I needed to calm down. And yeah, I just loved it. But then it have become so much more technical and sound-wise. Even those who don't even have... I mean, I can get irritated at things around this. So when I see someone... I've said this many times in videos. When I see someone bending back and forth, I've maybe gotten a little bit used to it, but not as much as so that I can watch that. When someone lean back and forth all the time, not back and forth, but side to side, I mean, and they don't even sometimes have a mic that capture if they do that. So there is really no point aside from they have seen others doing that, which is more like stressful. So I long for that time back when people just sat still and had this calm and just, but then again, I do worst ever ASMR videos, so who am I to complain, honestly? But I can't stand that. And also when it's just sounds and just everything, it's less, I mean, what they really talk about, the substance of that is so weak and nothing, and it's only sounds. Then it's also difficult for me to keep listening to. Although I also love some of the role plays actually, but I never almost listen to things like that. Whispering Canadian have stopped doing mostly his whisper videos, so I was totally addicted to them, and I wish he would get back to it. Yeah. So, because, yeah, totally healing. But it can also be sort of, what is the word I'm looking for? It can be like deceiving, because you get that sense of intimacy or closeness with someone, like as if they whisper behind your ear, just, and I easily get very open or feel connected as you can do on here. But then again, I don't know if it really is a problem still. I mean, we need to know that we don't maybe know those who we don't know. But yeah, people can be that in real life, so to speak, as well. So, and I think you win a lot at being open and having an open heart in yourself, I mean. So I think it can open you up to sensitivity in yourself, and also open up these meridians and chakras and so on. You have a certain kind of openness to even get ASMR. It's only sensitive people who get it. And it's very similar to the sensation you get when a spirit comes into your auric field. That the tingles of them when they come in. And then you can feel, but usually I feel it on one side when they come, usually on the left side. And then you can feel their personality and their moods, and they start to communicate, and you can, describe them and so on. So it's very close. And I think many of those who experience ASMR have that sensitivity, maybe have not learned exactly how to interpret certain impressions and so on. Yeah. It is almost like in lack of hugs, you get that instead. It's like spirit hugs almost. Yeah, I don't know. And that was a long answer to that question. Thank you so much for questions. I would love to do this. Maybe in the future to come, I will start to communicate here, or maybe be more open about my personal, who I am and so on. Right now, I don't want to mix those two, because on the Facebook I have all cousins, relatives, everyone on my page and everything. And here I just, don't bother too much about anything. I don't bother there. I mean, I'm open who I am and so on, but here I talk more freely. And so for that reason, I don't want to combine it. Although those haters that I have, if I could call you that. I don't know what you would like to, how you would like me to address you, really. But you know me, apparently, more or less. So anyways, in person, have met me and so on. So you know where you can find me, obviously. It's just the other ones who maybe don't dislike me, who don't know. So probably I should, in time, combine it. I don't know. But that it's the crux of not remembering what I've talked about in the videos as well. And that makes it better to keep it separate, I feel, for the moment. But I don't know. What do you do for a living? There are just 4 questions here, I think, yeah? No, 5 actually. But I should at least get through this. Good, I didn't wait 200. Okay. Kind of 4 or 5. All right, so that's kind of why I started doing them. I also enjoy it extremely much. Yeah, and just inspiration. Actually, why I started first making videos was this 2012, where I started. Audios mainly. Haven't done much videos really, but it was fun to film though, and be able to put it out there and all that. I just found it fun, and also I wanted to kind of be part of something. I have experienced quite a lot. I don't know, it depends on what you compare with, but I felt that I had something to say, but I don't still feel like I haven't said it. But I wanted to be part of this the movement, creating this new world, this shift, if you say. And to begin with, this was before the ASMR part of it though, but it was sort of a desperate feeling of it also, about it. I kind of needed to get things out there, I felt. And then a lot of other things happened meanwhile as well. But still, yeah. ASMR is like in yogic teaching, in yoga, they call whispers the language of love. You have certain mantras where you sing them, you whisper them, and you say them quietly. And it have different purposes to do them in those different ways. And the whispering one is the language of love, or the sounds of love. So I had that in my mind as well when it came to the ASMR, although I haven't whispered too much. I don't know. I suck at whisper, actually. I don't know if some people like when I whisper, but I feel it's draining to whisper. Even when I talk a little bit more soft as I do now, that's not common for me. I speak very quite loud. No, I don't go around screaming, hopefully, but I mean, yeah, I have a hard time holding my energy back like that. It takes a lot if I should do whisper videos. So then I first must get things out of me, like this, talk like for hours, and then I can whisper, probably, because then the energy is subsided a bit, so I can calm down, if you understand. So what do you do for a living? The living part of it. Well, if it comes to the whole earning a lot of money, I don't at all. But what do? I do right now. The main focus, I guess, is being a psychic medium, or medium you can call it. But I read energy and so on, and take messages from the spirit world. So it's like therefore I call it both. And I also combine it with the shamanic practices, because I get sudden information like such sometimes, also from spirit animals and so on. That's like the main thing. I also teach. I've recently kind of started with that last year, I guess. As I said, tarot, there have been several people being interested in that, so therefore I chose to do that. And since I do, and I actually love to teach, but I also am quite an impatient teacher. I don't take bullshit easily. I can be patient for a short while, then I get just bored, and I say things quite straight in the face, and people really, in that case, I'm not so very, what is the word? What are you when you have a, not diplomatic, but, pedagogue, is that the English word for it even? Yeah, where you have like I'm not trained in that, so I know these things, and I can teach. I can give assignments on what to do, and I can answer questions to some degree, at least. Probably there are questions I can't answer, but at least to my best ability, I think I can give things from my experiences. But I also suck as a teacher, I must say. I don't have a lot of. I don't deal well with fake, and I don't deal well with, there are certain people types that need to test you, kind of. And I don't mean that you shouldn't. You should really question things and so on. But it depends on whether or not it comes from an honest place. And when it doesn't, and I pick up things very easily and do it from the beginning, whether I show it or not, and that when people fake around me, then it takes all my restraint and strength to even be around those people. I mean, I can't deal almost honestly at all. It's and you have to be able to do that, though, if you teach. And probably I should have, if I should do this more times, and I kind of like it too. I love the subjects, and it's really fun to see how quickly people develop the abilities and skills in it. That also is amazing to see, and so to be able to sit back and see them doing readings for others and do it so perfectly well, they don't even understand how good they are. That's like, and you get so proud and happy for them, and to also realize that you have been able to give some of that to them. So it's really awesome. And that's for a little amount. I take like 500 for those 10 times, and then we sit several hours each time. So it's not like it haven't been expensive, let's say. And usually we have been in some coffee shop or something. So those money have been spent on that. Anyway, so yeah, it doesn't matter for I mean, it's fun, and so it's just more of a symbolic, I guess, money for that. And then I have also taught and am teaching a Munaki, is a shamanic path, a medicine wheel, where you go through certain directions. You start at the south with the snake, and then the west and jaguar, where I'm now. But those I teach do it in a slower manner, because it happens things with you, and you need to, I mean, you have to really invest in it, because it takes something to you if you don't see the gain in it, you would not put that much effort or energy into something. So you kind of have to understand that from the beginning in some way or another, or be at a place where you have that space, or can create that for yourself to focus in on it. Otherwise, I mean, you get so much out of it then, and I burn for that so much, and that's like really a passion of mine. But I mean, it takes something before you start to see those amazing results also. And some people just don't realize what there is to gain before they gain it, obviously, and that's natural. So, but there are several that I'm teaching that to as well. And then, what else? I mean, there is those who are interested in witchcraft also, which I would never charge anything for. Also, I don't charge for the medicine wheel, because I just feel that it's part of this whole evolution, or this consciousness of humanity, and it's needed out there. And there are those who charge quite a lot. That makes people, I mean, I kind of balance that up, I feel, because it causes this disrupt. I mean, it could be that others who really don't have that could really, really benefit from it, and have the best what can I say, who can absorb it and digest it the best and everything. And I just cannot not give it to someone because they wouldn't have the money for it. That would be, to me, it would be to betray myself. It's the same with witchy or Wiccan teachings. I would never charge for them. But it takes in other ways. I would, even if I started again, okay, it takes so long time to answer every question here. So, but if I would do them, start with others, as I plan to do every year, and this autumn again with the medicine wheel, although I continue for several years with those who started now, side by side kind of. But that's like, yeah, that's the center, that's the most passionate thing that I do. But then I would have have some questions that they would answer first, so that I know where they are at. And I would choose, if there are several who want to do that, I would choose from that. I would not consider what they could... I mean, it's not dependent on it, whether or not they had money or not, and I wouldn't charge anything for it. But yeah, I would still make a sort of distinction between, regarding what they answered. And I haven't even decided those questions yet, but yeah. And maybe there aren't any who want to, I don't know. And then the same with the witchy, even more so there, I think. If I would teach that to someone, it includes so much, and I would need to understand what they're, what they think, kind of, what their aims are, their intentions, and how they view certain things, and so, so I wouldn't spread these things widely, however, because it would just drain me and it wouldn't be of benefit to anyone. They need to be able to receive it at the time. So but if anyone had really a clear intent in that direction, then also everything is out there. If they wanted to find it, really, they would find it by themselves, as I have done. I haven't been able to afford. I have gotten these 9 initiations several times, and been given them for free. They should be shared for free, also, as it said. But aside from that, I haven't been able to afford other things, and so I've had to practice through what I've learned through my own practice and through other books that I've read and so on. So that's available to everyone who wants to also. If you're really motivated, it's there, but yeah. So what do you do for, what else? Honestly, yeah, sometimes also I've been doing larger layouts for a certain amount of money lately. Usually I haven't been doing that because I don't think that's like a crutch. I don't need that, so I feel like, okay, I can charge for the main work as a medium, but not like card readings I've just been giving away. But now, since I do that on their page and everything, and there are those who ask for it and want that rather than a mediumship reading, although I do that better, I feel, then for them it's important, I assume, to see the cards. And also sometimes people don't want to see things as clearly. So maybe it's both easier to trust in cards than it's to trust me as a channel as receiving correct information. They can't see what comes through me. I have to kind of tell them then. But also some people may prefer that less clear information that they can interpret instead. It's not as much in their face as probably if I do reading for them in through just channeling information to them. What else? Is there anything else that I even charge for? I must think. No. Not right now. I mean, potentially I am an Ayurveda therapist and I could do that and everything, but now I have all stuffed in that room where I have the massage bench and everything. I couldn't take anyone doing some treatment there, but whenever that shows up, I also generally do a lot of things for free. I must think though, is there anything else that I really do? No. Right now I don't come to think about it anyways. No. It's mainly that. But I have a lot of inspiration to do more things, yes. Though there is also, there are those who want that too, but I have to balance it. How much are they willing to invest into learning certain things, and how much am I willing to? Because if I make myself available to give a lot, and others are just like minor invested in actually learning it or whatever, then it takes too much energy from me without even benefiting much. So therefore I have to like balance that a bit. And if there are a little bit larger groups of people, then they can practice a lot with each other as well, which would be a better fit, I think. Otherwise, I think I've been a little bit. I don't regret that. I find it really interesting, and it teaches me a lot about myself as well. But I guess I've been a little bit too generous with my time and one-on-one things, although I like it. And also, by the way, yes, Reiki healing I've also taught and initiated into those to master as well. But there is a lot of things. I guess it's a whole society thing that you want kind of quick fixes. That okay, I have time now before this and that time, and then and then okay, and now I get this diploma. no, not the only, but I mean the thing is that kind of way of working with these things make you miss out on so much. You get so much more out of it if you really take time to absorb more of it. It's not an efficiency thing. None of this is. So therefore I also like when I've been taking several hours for each of the times we met with the tarot and so on, because I feel that is the way to do it. Although not everyone have that space and time, so then you have to plan it so that it works for others, and if so, and they can do more by themselves. But yeah, you get a lot out of it when you don't rush things. And yeah. Okay, so I think that's it right now. What I've been doing this year at least. But I have more on my plate. I mean, I know a lot of other things that I can do, including hypnosis in a journeys of sorts. It also is part of the Munaki journey if you do medicine wheel, but you can also do them just freely, like meeting your totem animals, past lives, other kinds of journeying or regressions, or that's really helpful. Like also I do solution focused therapy, some call it brief solution focused, but I use it in a different way and call it alchemy therapy, and it's kind of a little bit the same thing, but there you use certain questions to work with, I mean, where you can journey and see things, and I can also see things for others as well, of course, but it's better if you yourself experience it and see it, and it's a deeper connection for you. But also when it comes to solution focused or alchemy therapy, as I call it, then you just use certain questions and the person answer them themselves, and you just help them with the questions, with your responses. You kind of affirm their path, their solution, their goal, their solution, and their way to their goal, or to their you just kind of confirm and use questions they themselves wouldn't come to think of asking themselves, so that they figure their own answers all the time. You don't lead, you don't make questions that lead them in a certain direction. They're open questions, but they are turned, if you think of it as the two sides of the coin. If there is something you dislike, there is also an indication on what you like then, and so on. So you try to have the focus on, or help them see from that side that is more beneficial and uplifting for them. You can say it that way. That's also something. And yeah, lots of healing and distance, various kinds of healings, and communicating with animals. A lot of things are also kind of the same as being a psychic or medium, but you use it in different situations, just like communicating with animals. It's the same gift, you just use it in with animals, and it's a little bit different with them, but still. What else? Yeah, Ayurveda, as I said, and also muscle testing. You can tune into almost anything. As I see it, it's also a psychic gift, but your body respond rather than through your mind. You get the images through your mind. You get the bodily response instead. So I can think of someone and get the response. As well with Ayurveda, when you do pulse testing, I can feel it at a distance, or when I speak to someone on the phone. But when I work with Ayurveda, I do the physical pulse testing and those kinds of things. But I can feel it at a distance as well. Also, when I went to the education in Ayurveda, when we were testing each other and learning how to feel the pulse, I could sit there and know. Although I was sitting several people apart from the one that I was going to test, I knew beforehand. I felt it in my fingertips beforehand. So, yeah. So that's a few things. There are lots of things, and many of these things, they include a lot of other things. There is so much in there, but still, okay. I've been focused on these things mostly, and the work with the medicine wheel is very much my own journey. I mean, everything in this field, everything I do, I mean, I learn probably more than anyone else when I teach it, and it helps me keep focus and dive into it in a different way, because I also it motivates me more, or reminds me more even. So although I always want it, it still helps me a lot to do it when I have others that I teach. So I think about it more, even when it comes to the tarot and the cards and so on. I think about it more now, how I really do that, or because I teach them a certain thing, how to ask questions and a certain things just that I may not always think about myself, and now I have to redirect myself and take even more responsibility for think about it really. How do I do this myself? Yeah, certain things just in relation to others. And then you ask, when did you first start reading tarot cards? I was not exactly, I don't know exactly my age, but I guess I was 20. I say 25 to everything. I must think about, could I have been older, younger? I'm not sure. Not much younger, I don't think. I guess I was around that age when I bought my first deck. And it was the same time as I started studying Wicca with Court of Joy Coven in Stockholm with Laila Wiber as my high priestess. And she recommended me to buy the Rider-Waite deck, or to go by what I was drawn to, images I was drawn to. And so, yeah, that was my first deck. So it was now almost 25 years ago. Oh, time. Yeah, so I'm not that young, I know. So, yeah. That's the answer to that. And do you have any advice for someone who has started learning how to read tarot? Oh, I have a lot of advice, since I also teach it. Oh, I maybe should do a teaching here. First, I guess, first of all, just trust yourself, and because it have to do with being able to tune into yourself and to listen to what you pick up. Because when I started reading with these cards, I read my friends to my neighbors, and whatever came down to me and wanted me to do card readings, the rumor went around quickly when I got my cards, and I had no clue about cards, and I didn't know what they meant even. But I started doing readings. I read how you do the layouts and so on, and people wanted to come, and I did that always for free. And after a while I took like small, just super minor amounts but it took years before I did that. But even from the beginning, they thought that it was exact, and I didn't even understand why. I just said what I thought I saw in the cards, and they picked it up and said, "Oh, I understand exactly," and so on and so on. And I didn't know these people who I did it for, so I realized that something is, they wanted me to do it, and they picked it up. So, but after a while, I think one good thing is to meditate with the cards, especially the major arcana to begin with, to start with the Fool and then the Magician and so on and so forth. And just to sit for maybe a day or a few days with that kind of card, and just maybe write down a few words what you think about that, and look at it, and you don't need to sleep with it, maybe, under the pillow or something, but just carry it with you, and you don't need to carry it with you physically, but in your mind, kind of have it in your thought, sort of, to connect with the energy of the card and the understanding of the card. If you're used to visualizing, as I was at the time, then you can also do deeper meditations with the cards and so. But from the beginning, that make you connect with the majors, and to begin with, maybe also just start with those 22 major arcanas and leave the suits, and pick maybe a card each day and so on. After you have done those, tuning into those 22 cards, I've really never followed my own advice because I'm too curious. Well, I have done that too, but I also immediately started working with the deck. So I guess that's my main advice, to just use it. And also to be careful, not because I went overboard. I went to pull cards. Should I do the dishes now or not, or stuff like that. I was like card addicted. So don't go there. Put a limit to yourself, and don't get your own answers is the most important thing. Don't let the cards rule you. And you can always change. You can always influence things. And then mainly it's about just using them. You start to get to know them then when you use them, and you get skills that you don't even understand that you get meanwhile you use them. But also after a while, you can obviously read, if there is a booklet or a book you have, to learn more about the cards and their symbols and meanings and so on. But you don't really need to do that to begin with. These are universal symbols depending on what deck you have then, but if you start with one of those traditional ones, these symbols will have a certain meaning for you. So you can start there, and then you connect with them more than if you always read in a book instead of picking up what you see in the cards. For instance, one time maybe it's the yellow in the card that shines out to you, that it's so bright, or it maybe is the sword in a card, or it maybe it's the direction they look at is what the main focus for you. So it depends. Every time I read a card, it may have different meanings depending on what I pick up at the moment, because it kind of it shines forth to you what is important at the moment, and that have meaning. It's not just like something you can learn and then it's always the same. It depends always, of course, on if you use several cards in layouts later on. It depends on the cards around and so on as well. But it's an immense knowledge, and you will never be done. You will always keep learning, and that's also very fun. But you can be brilliant at it to begin with. And also, when you practice and before you start to actually be quite, start to know what you do, so to speak, so you feel that you do that, be careful enough to say to people that you practice, and that they shouldn't, because people, that they shouldn't take it too, seriously in a way, although respect it, but because people can take it in very harshly, even though maybe you don't, if it comes like death or hangman or the devil, or I don't know, tower used to be one that most people don't like, then or three of swords, or you need to make sure that they don't start to project out or like absorb it too much and get that influence their reality too much, in especially not in a negative way. So make sure that others, when you start practicing with others, and you can do that immediately if you like. People like the tension, if nothing else. If you see them focus on them and their life and lay cards for them, almost everyone appreciates it. And I would appreciate it for someone really new. Also, one thing that is awesome when you are really new, because you don't have those all the other things that those who have read cards for a long time have. You have such a open new view, and so those who start reading cards are, in my opinion, many times the best, because they don't think they are so very good, and they are so open, and have that fool's view kind of in a positive, that open mindset, that have all possibilities are open, so I really love when new card readers read, because they do it very well generally. And also to take it slow. If you start to feel, when you do this, if you do the process of meditating with a card, make sure that you also feel that it's in your pace, so that you don't feel that it shake you up too much. You should feel like that it's inspiring and interesting and so on, but you shouldn't feel like it's shaking your world, or you start having huge nightmares, or like if you start to feel unbalanced in mentally or emotionally by the process, then you should probably slow it down, or maybe even pause for a while. Don't push it. It's like working with your inner world. So these symbols and everything also have an effect on you, in you. So don't push it. Take it as slow as you want, and keep it light, keep it bright. Do it joyously, although having respect for the process and the correctness of the cards and what they want to say, to really listen into them. If you ignore it, I've never done that, so I don't know. But I think that if you would just play with them like as if they were nothing, they wouldn't really be interested in responding to you very accurately, because I think the spirits are involved in all that as well. And it's like anyone else. If you just didn't care about what they said, but you just asked question here and there and repeated all the time same questions and whatnot, after a while maybe they would be patient for a while, but after a while you wouldn't get correct answers, because they would realize that you don't even care, So to have both that seriousness, to really mean your questions and really listen in and try to understand the answers or what lies behind it. If you pick a card, don't immediately take 3 other cards if you don't understand the first. Maybe you can add 1 or so and see if you understand it better, both them together. But you should really try to receive the message they are giving, and also have fun with it, those are the basic starters reading advice, I would say, for now. Yeah. So if you are interested, then I hope it was of help for you or anyone else. Do you have any tattoos? 1, or what can you say, 3? No, it's like 1. Yeah, I did it at that time, actually, or maybe I was younger, a little bit younger, impulsively. I like it though, although it looks like one of those patch-on children's tattoos. And it's like tattoo that is related to past life for me, but it's a lotus flower that is like purple. I mean, it's very bleak. It's very like not the colors in it. It's not much. And then there is a dolphin jumping over that. I wanted it like I don't know. Anyways, and there is a sunrise, yeah, behind there with like various colors. Actually, sunset maybe. I don't even remember, but it was meant to be a sunrise, anyways. Yeah. And it's the same place, and I was bleeding quite a lot when I did that, so much of the colors actually went away immediately. But yeah, so yeah, that's the only tattoo for now. But I would want several. I want the planets, at least the 7 basic. I mean, when it comes to alchemy and all that, I would want them on the inside of my left arm. The planets, the glyphs or the symbols for the planets. And there are certain other things that I would want, but we will see. Yeah. Okay, now I have to stop, and I didn't get even to the basic chakras here. But yeah, at least I said hello, and I will get to the aura and also go through the chakras a little bit quicker than I've done before. I've done chakra videos before, but yeah. But I will end for now, and I hope you got something out of this, did you say? And also anyone who's still awake, that, yeah, I hope you will have a great year, this 2020 that is coming. And I will do videos, and maybe someday in the future I will check comments again. But for now, I just ignore them for my own good. And maybe yours too, who knows. Yeah. But feel free to comment anyways. I mean, you can talk among each other. You seem to know each other, some of you, so you can have something to say to each other, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, that's it for now. Many blessings, and yeah, I hope to spend good time with you to come. Yeah, I keep you in my thoughts, all of you, still.